two. Testing 1 2. All righty. Welcome everybody. We get everybody to take their seats, or at least kind of bring down the noise level a little bit. We'll get things started. So first I want to welcome everybody to our booth. We're really excited to be here today. Needless to say, I think the last time we had Automechanika was 4 years ago, so I think there's a lot of excitement here in the room to actually do this in person. So it's my pleasure today to be the opening act, I guess, for the two experts behind me, and share with you what we're doing in our aftermarket group, as well as what we're doing as BorgWarner from a strategic standpoint. First, myself, I'm Brady Ericson. I'm the president of our fuel systems group and aftermarket group. I've been with BorgWarner just over 22 years. With me, I've got Michael Bowe, who's our vice president of our emissions, thermal and turbo systems group. He leads the aftermarket group for that group. And then Neil Fryer actually works for me, leading the aftermarket in our fuel systems group. I'll do the quick intro for you really quickly about BorgWarner in general, then we'll let the experts talk about some of the initiatives that we're doing in the aftermarket group. Just quickly from BorgWarner in total, we're a very large global manufacturing company. We focus on product leadership and to see a lot of high technology components that you see scattered around the room. With close to 50,000 employees and nearly 15 billion of revenue last year, we're really everywhere our customers need to be with a nice portfolio of products. We're also a very reliable company. We've been around for over 130 years, and some of the technologies that we continue to add to our portfolio is not only ensuring we have the products for today, but also preparing for tomorrow. From a product and brand strategy standpoint, you'll see here we've got the Delphi and DelcoRemy brands from prior acquisitions. Neil will go into that in more detail, and he leads those brands. And then we've got the traditional, the BorgWarner, the Valler, and the Beirut brands that Michael Bowe is leading for our organization as well. They're all BorgWarner brands. They're all part of the BorgWarner family, which is why we're here today in a combined environment. From an overall market trend standpoint, you'll see about 1.5 billion cars in the car park today, and we're going to see that to continue to grow to about 1.8 billion by the end of the decade. What's interesting is only about 100 million of those are going to be battery electric. So we still see a lot of good growth in our traditional combustion products, but we are seeing the emergence of the battery electric coming into the car park and growing into the aftermarket field. From BorgWarner's perspective, as you see out here, we are preparing for the future as well. You'll see a lot of battery electric, some battery, high voltage heaters and technologies, as well as working on some additional internal combustion engine technologies around renewable fuels and green fuels, and also hydrogen, to make sure that we're prepared for those as well. So you're going to see a lot of great technologies here today. As I mentioned, as we're getting prepared for the future, you'll see a lot of great technologies up here, from EV transmissions, inverters, integrated drive modules, and the such. This is really the culmination of a lot of our charging forward strategy of BorgWarner that we've been employing over the last 3-4 years. And so we had the acquisition of Delphi, the acquisition of Akasol, Santrol, and most recently the Rhombus stationary charging. So as a financially strong company, we're able to go out there and continue to invest and acquire additional technologies, as well as invest significantly organically in our portfolio. And so with that, I'll pass it off to Michael Bowe.
Thank you, Brady. Thank you, Brady. Thanks to all of you for coming and joining us here today at our press conference for BorgWarner. And as Brady said, we are going to talk about our promise to the aftermarket, right? Brady mentioned we have 130 years of history, which is really long for a company today. But also on that, we have the fact with 1.5 to 1.8 billion of vehicles out there in the field, operating day by day and breaking down. It's our job to be a reliable partner for the aftermarket so that service can continue for these vehicles, not only today, but also in the long-term future. Also on that, one of the elements to be reliable is on the sustainable aspects called remanufacturing. Some people call it sustainable manufacturing. BorgWarner call it remanufacturing. What is remanufacturing all about? Remanufacturing means that you take an old core, you disassemble it, you put new parts in, and you put it as a new part again. Roughly 70% of the raw materials are reused in a remanufacturing project. That means when an OE line no longer is physical or financially viable, then you can continue the lifespan of a product line in the service sector significantly via remanufacturing. Some of the things we also do in the aftermarket to be sustainable is our environmental friendly operations. So, for example, in Europe today, all of our facilities are carbon neutral. All of the incoming and outgoing shipments are carbon neutral together with our partners for that distribution service. What we also do is we are supporting a lot from an aftermarket, but also BorgWarner perspective, different community sectors like SOS Children Village, where you will see some documentation here on the stand later today. And we are trying to make sure that children in needs are getting education and we can service them. Also ready for tomorrow, as Brady said, we have here to the left on our displays, we show some of the things that are in the pipeline on the OE side, already in production. And today we have the first and probably one of the very few companies that are announcing the launch into the independent aftermarket of an electrical component. But I will come to that in a minute. We have basically a fantastic company behind us. BorgWarner is huge, as we saw earlier, and we have constantly growing product portfolios and new portfolios is coming together with it. That also means it gives a great opportunity for aftermarket and its partners to take benefit of these extra new products that are coming, right? Most of the products that we deal with today is coming out of the OE production, meaning the same products that are put into a vehicle the day that it's born, and it's also being serviced with that for form, fit, and function, so it makes it easier for the aftermarket and its workshops to fit it when they need it. We have the technology expertise for the products we create, and we have a lot of experts here on the stand that can help with any questions you have. If it is traditional components, if it is new components, if it is future components. It's up to you to ask these questions later on today. We have some well-known brands, and some of them you already heard, and we heard it from Brady here. We have on the BorgWarner side, we use the Beo brand also together with BorgWarner. We use the Vala brand together with BorgWarner. And also in the Delphi technologies, we also have DelcoRemy and Hartridge. So we have some very well-known brands in everything we do today. I want to give you just a quick flair of our product portfolio in the BorgWarner brands. So we have the boosting technologies, and most of you know that a turbocharger is something that has been there for many ages, coming from agriculture and heavy duty. It's into the pass car today, and it's also into hybrid solutions. So it's something where BorgWarner have produced over 150 million during the 60 years of experience we have with turbocharging, and we make from a very small application to a very high application, going from 25 horsepowers to over 1,500 horsepowers. We have some ways of testing it. We have developed 10 years ago something called EFR, Engineered for Racing, a turbocharger that we together with the IndyCar series have developed for performance. BorgWarner have been the supplier to that race series for the last 10 years, with 0 defect in 10 years in all races, which stands for durability and quality of our products. And we are in the winning car each time a race is taking place. So I think that's a great thing. We have, under the Beo brand, we have ignition technologies. These will be there as long as the car park is requiring it. And there is both for diesel with glow plugs and glow plug controllers, as well as for ignition coils for the petrol population. And we have in Europe a 90% coverage for the car park that are available here. All-wheel drive couplings is one of the acquisitions we did over 10 years ago from a company called Haldex. It's today BorgWarner. We have over 10 million applications in the field. We offer now complete couplings. We offer everything that is called spare parts around it. And the latest generation is also with ECUs. So we also have ECU kits, so electronics filled into this. Additional, we have filters, we have oil, and we have components. We have a news today that we are launching, which only until today have been really into the OE side of the business. And that is dual clutch modules. BorgWarner is the leading manufacturer for automation, transmissions and components for clutches. And we are proud to announce today, and you will see it on the displays here, that we are releasing 6 applications for leading manufacturers in Europe that are using these applications here. And you talk about over 10 million vehicles in location today. So a significant improvement to our portfolio, and we are thrilled to offer that to our aftermarket partners here in Europe. On top of that, we have EGR, exhaust gas management, helping the environment to be cleaner. So the majority of the products you see on the field here, they are all cleaning emissions more than just traditional operations. EGR is there, thermostats are there under the Vala brand, which actually is this year celebrating 120 years of anniversary for the brand. I want to speak a bit about Reman. I spoke about it before, but it's such a key integral part of BorgWarner's sustainability. We have 4 facilities globally today taking care of remanufacturing for BorgWarner aftermarket products. So we talk about Reman turbos, we talk about EGRs, we're looking into other opportunities. Why is it so important? It's important because of the durability of a lifespan of a product line. But it's even more important when you think of what ends in the garages. They have a lot of waste because they throw a lot of products out and put new products in. When we can make sure that this waste is being manufactured, given back to the manufacturers for them to process it and make new parts out of it, then we are all adding to this climate situation we all are dealing with, and we can help the planet in this way. So Reman is there today, and it will be a growing part in the future. We also see that we have thermal management. So now we get into the interesting part of cooling and ventilation, and we have 75% coverage for all heavy-duty applications in Europe today, and you will also see it on the displays. More importantly, it keeps the engines idle at the right speed, meaning you're not using excess uses of fuel. It's really efficient, right? And that leads me to the last but not least important thing, that is our high voltage coolant heater. It's the first electrical component that we offer into the independent aftermarket, and I will bet you we are one of the leading companies to offer this. First of all, we have the leading portfolio of high voltage coolant heaters. Secondly, we have produced it in serial production since 2001. And I believe we are the first one that offer an electrical product to the independent aftermarket for the usage when the demand is coming. So you can get the explanations afterwards by our experts. And with this, it has been a pleasure to communicate here. And I give over to my dear colleague, Neil Fryer.
Thank you. Thanks, Michael. It's my pleasure to talk to you this afternoon, and at the risk of repeating what's been said a little bit, it is really exciting to be here, to see people face to face, to meet people that we haven't seen in the last 4 years, and talk to them about business, start sharing ideas, talking about the future. So that's really great. If I move on to talk about the Delphi Technologies aftermarket business, you can see the 2 strong brands we have there on the slide. So Delphi Technologies, and I'll come on and talk about our product portfolio a little later, and then DelcoRemy starters and alternators. You can see there as well our slogan for the aftermarket, which is cleaner, better, further. And the mission or the vision of BorgWarner is a cleaner, energy efficient future. And in the aftermarket, we want to make sure that we support that. So our promise to our customers is that we are selling products that will repair and maintain vehicles and bring them back to the standard they were the day they left the production line. That's the way that we contribute to that vision for BorgWarner. I think the other important thing for us is we really think about the way we serve our aftermarket customers. For us, it's about having the right product range. It's about having good availability when people want to buy the products so that repairs can be done, having the best catalogs in the market, and really making sure that we meet the needs of aftermarket customers. If we move on, I'll talk a little bit about our product portfolio. As I said, you can see here we have really 4 areas in terms of product for our portfolio. First of all, gasoline fuel systems, which builds out from our OE business, and a number of products within that to make sure that our customers can do the repair that's necessary to that system. Similarly, for diesel fuel systems, we have that product portfolio derived from our OE business that allows our customers to make the necessary repairs. Alongside that, we offer vehicle electronics and engine management, which again is an area that really is important as we think about how we make sure that vehicles drive cleaner, better and further. And to build on what Michael was saying, within that area of our portfolio, we have launched a number of electrification products, such as inverters, which you can find in our catalogue and which are available from our warehouse if and when the need arises or the demand arises from the aftermarket to repair those products or replace them. We also offer maintenance solutions, so we offer braking parts and we offer steering and suspension parts, and then again, as I mentioned before, the DelcoRemy starters and alternators, which we see as part of that maintenance portfolio. Again there, for us to be successful, it's about having 95% or more product coverage, having the best catalogue in the market and having good availability so our customers can buy the products when they need them. If you look in the middle of that chart, you'll see workshop solutions, and that's really the glue that binds our product portfolio together. We talk about diagnostics, test equipment and training, and that's where we work with mechanics, technicians, workshops around the world to make sure that they're able to carry out the repairs that are needed. I'll come on and talk about these elements now. So training. We offer training in our existing technologies, so the maintenance products, and if you look at the photograph on the bottom of that slide, that's our training center teaching some people about wheels and about brakes. Above, you can see a training course which is going on for hybrid vehicles, and we are increasingly seeing demand for training on electrified and hybrid vehicles from our customers. We've launched a virtual training program, so you can see there people actually in our training center getting trained on a hybrid vehicle, but before they come to the training center they will have done 6 hours of online training that helps them to prepare and get the most out of the face-to-face training. And then of course the other thing which is important is because they don't necessarily see an electric or hybrid vehicle every day, they can go back to the training platform and refresh their knowledge when they want to do work on that vehicle that they've been trained on. I also want to talk about diagnostics. That's a service that we offer to the aftermarket and we think it's really important. On the stand you will see something called Blue Tech, which is mounted on the vehicle behind. That is a gateway for security that allows the mechanic to work on different types of vehicle. And the good thing about it is it's a one-stop shop. So once you have paid the license, once you have the access through the vehicle manufacturer protocols to be able to work on the vehicle. And that includes some important vehicle manufacturers like Volkswagen and Mercedes-Benz, among others. Our diagnostics tool covers internal combustion engine, it covers hybrid vehicles, and it covers electric vehicles. And I think our coverage, if I get it wrong, I'm sure my colleagues will correct me, but we cover over 87% of the electric vehicles on the road in Europe today with our diagnostic tool. And I think the interesting thing that we see as well is we get twice as many fault codes from an electric vehicle as we get from an internal combustion engine vehicle. So it shows that we can find a way to help our customers to do the repairs that are necessary. Then finally, I would talk about our ADAS diagnostic capability. There's a demonstration here on the stand twice a day of our ADAS tool. It shows you how it can work and what we can do for garages. There we have over 30 vehicles that we can do the calibration both in a static way and a dynamic way, so you can use it for road tests as well as repairs in the workshop. And we'll be continuing to roll out that program as we go forward. So I've talked a little bit about this, but here are the products we're showcasing on the stand this week. So steering and suspension, and to continue the theme of electric vehicles, you'll see that we're launching steering and suspension products for electric vehicles. We're launching bimetallic brake discs, which are an important step forward for us in our brakes program, but perhaps as well, very interesting is the electric vehicle brake pads range that we're launching. So as well as offering the electrification products, we offer all the other products that go around that on an electric vehicle. It's a complete solution. We're introducing DelcoRemy starters and alternators for commercial vehicles, really for the first time here. We took over responsibility earlier this year, and we've launched a range which covers our OE program. We will be launching next year a full all-makes range of commercial vehicle starters and alternators that will give us about 90% coverage of the market. So that shows you how that fits in with our philosophy of offering a solution for the market. I talked about Blue Tech there, which you can see at the top. That's the security gateway, and you can see that be demonstrated here. And then finally, to really reinforce the point that although we look forward, we also want to make sure that we satisfy the needs of our customers for products that they fit every day. We're launching our heavy-duty Euro 6 injector repair program for diesel fuel injection. And that includes the test machine, which you can see there, that will allow our authorized network to make the necessary repairs. So these are important things that we launch. We're investing in the future for the aftermarket to make sure that we can support our customers today and help them prepare for the aftermarket of tomorrow. And I think that's the really important point. We're a partner who wants to support what our customers have to do, but help them to be ready for what they will have to do in the future. So, to try and summarize that, the aftermarket offer of BorgWarner has 5 strong brands, which you can see there. Some of them I'm responsible for, some of them Michael is responsible for, but our aim is the same, to make sure that we meet the needs of our aftermarket customers. And I'd like to just conclude by thanking you for the time you spent with us today. If you have questions, we'll be happy to answer those questions afterwards. And if you contact the communications team, they'll be able to help you as well. So, thank you very much, and I would also just like to close by saying we do have a reception here on the booth starting at 6 p.m, and you're very welcome to join us then if you would like to. Thank you very much indeed.